If I were to ask you to name me some of the best racing games, some answers you would probably give would be Need for Speed, Gran Turismo, Forza Horizon, Crew, and Midnight Street Club Racing 2, right? Anyways, if you were to ask me that same question, the answer you'd expect me to say is one of the racing games I've listed before, huh? Well, no. For me, the best racing game has to be GTA Online Racing. Yeah, no joke. I'm being 100% honest. GTA Online Racing is the best, and that's the topic of today's video. I'm going to explain why this is the case, and hopefully by the end of this video, you can agree with me, and if you don't agree, well then you're wrong, because I'm always right. Okay? Let's begin. To start off, it's very simple. Sure, you could say that other games in this genre are simply better than GTA Online Racing, but for me, I like GTA Online because you can find almost everything in those games in the GTA Online Racing game mode. Getting into more specific detail for me, I really like the different types of races you could do within the game mode. I really like racing and stunt races, more specifically, hot ring circuits and stunt races. The reason is they're just that fun. To those who have watched some of the GTA races I used to post, which were like 4 people who watched them, you would see that most of the races I would post were hot ring circuit races and stunt races. Another reason is I've played these races with the best conditions to make them fun, and I'll go over all the pros and cons about this game mode and why this game mode became my favorite racing game over others. Looking at the pros for this game, I should start off with the amount of players. This may seem like something really insignificant, but when in game, it could make or break the entire race. The players are what make this game mode work. The less players there are, the more uninteresting the race becomes. The more players there are, the more excitement and anticipation there is. When the lobby gets full and the race is preparing to begin, you and the rest of the players are put in a circle where you can see how many races they have won or lost. Some with high win to lose ratios and others with bigger lose to win ratios. But one thing to always remember, anyone could win the race. When the race starts, you're put into a lineup. If you have a full lobby, you'll see the line of cars either in the front of you, the back of you, or you're just in the middle. Either way, the countdown starts from 3, 2, 1, and the horn goes off. You start driving, but then something happens. All other players are thinking the exact same thing. As you want to get ahead, they are all crashing, ramming into one another. As you want to escape, you swerve and dodge the oncoming cars that have crashed coming at you. This happens almost every time the race starts. Finally, you make it out and start driving and try to take first place. You go on your way and 2 things could happen from here. You can race clean and everything goes smoothly as you try to overtake everyone, or you can just go evil mode and become the biggest threat on the track. You can pit maneuver the person you're trying to overtake and go for first, or you could also try to catch the slipstreams of others and just overtake them with speed. One thing about becoming the biggest threat on the track is, if you race dirty, expect to be done dirty. As you're racing, you see the other players beefing, crashing, ramming, doing anything in their power so that the person they're beefing with has an awful time racing. Truly some reverse flash energy. Closing in on the final lap of the race, I started to notice something. It's kind of funny because when everyone hits the final lap, you see all those respectful and clean drivers turn into some of the dirtiest drivers ever. They all start pushing one another off the map, making others crash, and the pit maneuver is used on everyone. All this just to come in first and get the W from all other people in the race. Truly some I'd be waking up real early to have extra time to be a hater. The race finishes and then everyone who hasn't left gets to vote on the next race, and the cycle may continue or the lobby just dies out and you start to look for a new one. If that scenario didn't want to make you play some GTA Online Racing, then I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, that was probably maybe one pro mixed in with other pros, but anyway, let's get into the cons. Oh, my bad y'all. I forgot to mention this one small thing. I also really like racing in the races that have to destroy vehicles each lap or every 15, 30, or 60 seconds. It never fails to make my heart race when I hear the beep 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 increasing in speed as I try not to get blown up. Now this is something I don't want to do, but it must be done. With everything we like, there are dislikes that come with those things. And for me, GTA Online Racing has some of the biggest cons, which has sometimes made me become angry and wanting to off myself. To start off, the number of players. I brought this up earlier in the video when I said the less players there are, the more uninteresting the race becomes. I really do mean this. Whenever I'd want to play a race, I would struggle most of the time to find a match that has more than 5 players in the lobby. And I don't blame people who don't want to bother waiting, because waiting sucks, and not everyone wants to sit around potentially and wasting 10 or 15 minutes just for no one to join. Also, one small thing is the custom vehicles. This isn't something that bothers me, but I like the races to be fair for everyone. When I would host the race, I would turn off the custom vehicles just to give those low levels and other players who don't have these expensive upgraded cars a chance. Moving on after this, when the race starts, this is another annoying thing that sucks is the players. In some races you get clean drivers for the most part, with some drivers that are menaces, but in some matches it feels like everyone is beefing and crashing and spinning out is common. I know I also put this in the pros, but as fun as this can be, other times it can just be straight up annoying. Additionally, the other players who give up early. There are sometimes players who don't bother continuing the race and just go the opposite way and crash into other players who actually want to win the race. This also happens when other players crash into them and spin them out repeatedly. Not sure how many times this happened to me, but it has been plenty. One more thing to add on, racing, but everyone is in passive mode. I get why some players like this, but come on, it just takes the fun out of the whole race. With all that listed, I hope I managed to explain why this game mode is the best in my opinion. I know that for a fact that some people don't agree and probably think I'm crazy or something, but it's the truth. Like I said, 100% honest. If you don't agree, let me know what you think is the best racing game and why that's the case. Hopefully the people who see this want to play some GTA Online Racing, just go for it. I just pray that you have a high patience if you try to host the game yourself, because shoot, you might be just spending like 30 minutes all by yourself before someone joins. Well, that's all. Hope you enjoyed this different type of video. I've had this video idea for a while now, but I just didn't know how to present my points and structure it. But with all that said, this has been your boy PAV, trying to make it in first place without getting pit maneuvered.